Samsung has announced that their Galaxy Unpacked event is right around the corner at February 11th, 6 days before my birthday. So hopefully they start shipping in time and my not favorite tech company can have a foldable ready for my birthday. Yay! It's gonna be the best birthday ever, but I wanted to talk about some of the things that we should expect at the Galaxy S11 event and why, despite it not being an Apple product, I am slightly excited. Yeah, mild interest. I'll be watching this one live. Let's begin. So for one, I thought the invite was somewhat creative. I know this is not important at all, but still, the fact that they kind of showcased the different, molds coming through, and a lot of people are already theorizing on what it means. The first one is like the camera module on the back of the S11, and the second one that's slightly tilted is the clamshell foldable, which kind of gives you a sneak peek, even though you don't really see much. If that's what it is, that'll be really, really cool. But let's talk about the S11 first. Several things are expected to come out on this phone that I'm very excited to try out for myself. For one, we're hearing reports that Samsung may be upping the S11 refresh rate to 120 Hz. This is still on an OLED display to match that of the Asus ROG Phone 2. That's going to be really, really cool because I'm not interested in testing out the ROG Phone 2, but I am interested in testing out the S11 Plus. This is going to have a very, very slim screen to body ratio as well as a very high refresh rate. Samsung always makes amazing displays on their smartphones, so pretty confident that if I try this thing out, I'm going to become addicted to what is easily going to be crowned one of the best smartphone displays ever, which I'm very interested in trying. They're centering the camera hole due to probably a lot of people complaining that having it off to the corner didn't really make much sense. In fact, there's probably a lot less things to put in the software up at that top corner anyway, so might as well put it up there, keep things symmetrical a little bit in that way, and that assortment of camera sensors on the back. Yeah, I know I did a whole video explaining why I think there's hypocrisy in the YouTube space for no one criticizing the S11 camera bump, but lots of people criticizing the iPhone camera bump. But in case you didn't watch that video, the takeaway from my angle was it doesn't matter how the back of the phone looks. OnePlus. You don't have to invest 18 months of work so that the cameras go a little darker sometimes. It's not worth it. We're not looking at that part of the phone, okay? I don't care how it looks on the back as long as it makes the camera work better, then go for it. I don't care. But hearing that there may be a 108 megapixel sensor on the back is really impressive. And given it's going to be rocking the Snapdragon 865, which has shown some promising specifications that may start rivaling where Apple is CPU-wise. Oh no! Apple's gonna be doomed because the only reason anyone bought an iPhone was CPU performance. So yeah, Apple, you're in trouble. But the 865 should be capable of recording 8K video, so a concern I have is the aspect ratios. These phones look kind of huge. They're just getting bigger and bigger each year and taller, so I don't know how that's gonna feel in the hand. I'll definitely have to try one out to know for sure, but I do like big screens, as long as they can fit comfortably in my pocket. But at this point, knowing how gargantuan these screens are going to be on the S11, it might not even fit in my pocket. So I don't know, we'll see. But knowing that Samsung likes to knock it out of the park with solid phones that have all around good hardware, and now they're prioritizing the refresh rate, which is something I personally care a lot about, and I wish Apple would understand as well. Very excited to try out the Galaxy S11 and see what Samsung has in store, but we also got to talk about the second A in the Galaxy invite image, which is the clamshell foldable. Which, oh boy, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this one. In case you didn't watch my video on the Motorola Razr flip phone, the foldable one, not the old one, but I feel like it's just people who got excited for foldables throwing out all of the reasons they got excited for foldables. I mean, the Galaxy Fold was kind of a botched launch. I mean, they wouldn't even ship the thing to most places. You had to pick it up in stores. It was severely limited in quantity, and quality control was a huge issue for review units. Not to mention the thing was $2,000 and had a plastic screen that could scratch with your fingernail. Yeah, I think it's safe to say it was a little bit of a flop. I don't think a lot of people were sold on the foldable future unless you were sold on foldables in the first place, in which case the Galaxy Fold, or any folding phone for that matter, would have convinced you that foldables are the future. I can't argue with you if you're just convinced and nothing can convince you otherwise, but the fact that there's so many people excited for this new Galaxy Fold 2 or whatever is proving to me that it doesn't matter what the functional benefits are, it just matters that it folds, and as long as it folds, that means it's cool and it's the future, because the clamshell fold may enable Samsung to make a cheaper, more affordable foldable, but you're throwing out all of the practical reasons you wanted a fold foldable in the first place. Last year, I remember you talking about the Galaxy Fold and saying that the whole benefit was that you could fit a tablet-sized screen, very small tablet by the way, but then you could fold it up and keep it in your pocket. That way you had a large display in a pocketable form factor. Now, there were a lot of issues with that concept, but with this thing, unfolded, it's just a regular phone. So, there's been a lot of leaks around it. I'm sure it's going to be a clamshell foldable. I do believe these rumors, but the rumor I really hope ends up being true is the price point. I saw some people throwing around the number $850, which is drastically lower than the first Galaxy Fold. Almost half the price for something that has no notch and still a decent sized display and probably fairly similar specifications to the Galaxy S11. So if they can make a clamshell foldable with S11 specs, decent sized screen, decent sized cameras, decent battery life, somewhat durable display, and rock it at $850, I would say, yeah, that's pretty good. I think a lot of people might actually end up going for that just for the sake of it being a foldable. It's kind of cool. No, I don't think if that exists, then foldables are the future. I think Samsung's going to be losing a lot of money on that phone because from what we've seen from other companies making foldable tech, that stuff is not cheap, and unless Samsung just figured out some miraculous way to make it more durable and cheap, then I'm sure it's going to be a Samsung exclusive thing. And no, I don't think a lot of people are going to end up ditching their iPhone just so that they can fold a normal sized phone into a little square that fits in their pocket. I mean, it's somewhat nifty, it's somewhat handy, but I just don't imagine that many people wanting to choose a folded up square block in their pocket. It's not like the weight changes of your normal phone or anything, but maybe some of you with really short pockets, but I feel like the teenage girl demographic that wears those short shorts, they're all in love with their blue iMessage bubbles anyway, so I don't think they're going to be interested in this sort of thing. It's going to be more of a tech enthusiast interest than it is a certain demographic that just likes short pants. I feel like we're tackling this problem from the wrong angle, okay? Fashion design trend decides that pockets need to be really, really small so that your shorts can be really, really up high. So instead of, stopping that and making practical pants that you can store normal things into, no, we're going to invest millions and billions of R&D into foldable phone technology so that we can keep the short pants but still keep our phone in our pocket. No, that's just dumb. What are we doing as a species? World War III is gonna start and this is what we're talking about? Sorry, topical joke. It was just a joke, okay? Moving on. I'm very interested to see what Samsung has in store. I'll be doing a live reaction to this event on my Twitch page, so feel free to follow that if you want to watch. Or don't! These Samsung events are usually pretty boring, so it might not be that interesting anyway. But let me know what you think of all the stuff that Samsung's going to be unveiling at this event. I'm sure they may have some new Galaxy Buds as well as a Galaxy Watch or whatever. And oh yeah, it won't be called the Galaxy S11 because apparently they want to go straight to 20 to match the year. This is so stupid to me that the marketing department is like, no, we can't call it 11 because Apple already has 11. And then people will think we're just catching up with them because the numbers are the same. I'm not mad at the marketing department for choosing to go the route of bigger number means better phone. I'm mad that it probably works. They've probably done studies and have figured out that the phone with the higher number is looked at as higher quality. People are idiots. And it's annoying me. Anyway, feel free to let me know what you're thinking about hitting me up over on Twitter, joining our Discord, and we can argue about why the iPhone 30 will be even better. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.